Hello, everybody. I'm Awesome Ashby, and I'm going to introduce myself. And I love this microphone and this pop screen thing. Who am I? Who am I? I am, for the last decade, a professional team builder. Yes. What is that? I've had people ask me that a lot over the last 10 years. And before that, I feel like with my glasses on, I need them to read. I don't need them to talk to you. But if I do need to read something, I will put them back on. So back to it. I'm introducing myself. I am Awesome Ashby. I've been a professional team builder for the last 10 years. Before that and during that, I was an event specialist. I've worked lots of events, and a lot of those events have been for singles companies, Sacramento Professionals Guild, Match.com. And then I was really lucky enough to get to work some really cool events like the Emmys and Oscars and Nick Kids Choice Awards and stuff like that. And private events like in very nice homes and things of that nature. So, really, what is an event but a well coordinated party? And if you knew me when I was younger, you know I definitely enjoyed a good party. So I'm really good at doing that. I really do love team building. And there's a link in the description box below if you want to check that out. I have put a little website together that basically shows some things about me. And I do love bringing people together to have fun in a social settings. And interestingly enough, team building has been a big part of my life, which if you asked me when I was younger, would that be the case? I would say, what is team building? And I have my own thoughts on it, which I'm more than happy to share and will, I'm sure, over the course of videos that I make. Because I think a lot of people don't really know what that is. Team building is when you are working together with the people that you do work with. We spend a very large percentage of our time on the planet with the people that we work with, which I take seriously because I don't want to work in environments where people are not seen and heard, where people can't share their feelings, where people aren't lifted up, all of that good stuff. And I guess my response for seeing what's going on in today's world is that maybe more people should know about it, because team building essentially is a branch of the many branches of personal growth. And I don't think I really connected those dots when I first started out. And so maybe that's a good story to tell for introducing myself. And it just sort of shows you like a little bit about me. Okay, so I also did not know what team building was when I was younger. And I'm so thankful for it. I've already spilled my coffee today down my shirt, and one of my lights broke. And I am so thankful for the experiences I've had the last 10 years to really help me be more resilient. And resilient's a really good word. I've always been positive. I'm a very upbeat person. Sometimes that's like, what? And I'm just a happy person, and I think that's great, and I think more people should be happy. But guess what? I've learned the hard way. You can't go around making people happy. But it doesn't stop me from trying. So, yeah, good story. So, gosh, about a decade ago, over a decade ago. Okay, it's about 12 years ago, 12, 13 years ago. I was looking for work. I'm here in Los Angeles. Most of us are always looking for work. Shout out to LA. And I found an ad they wanted people who really liked to clap and cheer. And although I was not a cheerleader in high school, all the love and respect to the cheerleaders that were out of my high school, because I think they got up at like 5 a.m. and ran around, and I wasn't doing that. Big fan of sleep. It's really good for you. It's actually super healthy. I love it. Think about loving it. Everybody's doing it. Everybody cool's doing it. Anyways, back to my story. I get off track a lot. We're talking about how I discovered team building. So saw this ad. They were looking for people who like to clap and scream and like be enthusiastic. That had my name written all over it. So I went to I wouldn't say it's an audition. It was a meeting. I've been to a lot of auditions. A little different. And now everybody's self-taping. So, I mean, the whole world's changed. I digress and we'll move forward. I digress a lot. So, okay, yeah. So I went to this meeting and it was like at a mall or like a plaza courtyard thingamabobber, which I was fine with because there's always a Starbucks there. I also love the Starbucks. You're learning a lot about me in this first meeting, so that's exciting for me. I do love the Starbucks. I do love espresso. I do not drink coffee anymore. I drink blonde espresso shots. I drink blonde espresso shots. Anyways. So I got my Starbucks and I sat down. A bunch of people gathered around. And this guy came in. And he was chill. I don't really remember him that well. Again, it was like 12, 13 years ago. But he had a lot of letters behind his name. Like a PhD and an MD. And so he's like a doctor and a lawyer and an author and a lot of accolades. And he was doing a team building event for the Tokori Diamond Company. That I remember. Like, I don't remember this guy's name. I don't remember all his letters. But did you say Tokori Diamonds? I remember. So I'm learning stuff about myself even at this moment. Okay. So we did like a cheer. It was kind of like really funny because we did like a cheering competition, right? We'd all like clap really hard, scream really loud, and like basically whoever could keep it up for a certain amount of minutes, he was like, yeah, you. Okay. So he picked, like a half a dozen of us or more, and I was thankfully lucky enough to be picked. I'm very thankful for this mic and this pop screen filter. I do have a very commanding, loud voice. And I've been a public speaker for many, many years. So I am more used to talking to a group of people than into the camera. Although we're becoming fast friends and I'm excited about it. I am used to like trying to make eye contact with like multiple people in the room. Ooh, and my camera's AI. Look at that. That's so cool. Look at that. Look how cool that is. That is so cool. That is so cool. I love it. Okay, shout out to Ecamm for gifting me this Ozbot cam for my desk situation. I actually went to school for video and film production, so this is super funny because I do have like real. I guess I'm saying you're a real camera too, Ozbot. Don't be mad at me. You're a real camera too. Cameras have changed, but like a full frame, I went to school for it, so I do love my cameras, but this is so cool, and this whole AI thing is a whole nother thing. We'll talk about it. I'm introducing myself, but look, if I do this, like, wait, come on, do the thing where you clap. Come on. Are we, and I go like this, I go like this. All right, now you're mad at me. I understand. Never mind. So I'm learning how to use that. Did you want a channel where you could just come and laugh all the time? This is it. So, anyways, back to my story. We go to the Jonathan Club. If you don't know what the Jonathan Club is, it's out here on the beach of Santa Monica. It is a very exclusive country club. It's very expensive to be a member there. I've been there a bunch of times, but all of them have been for running team building events for nice companies like Google and etc. going forward. Anyway, so we go out to the Jonathan Club, and they basically just have us sort of like in a green room or a waiting room for a long time. But I can hear the guy out there, and they're on the beach, and they have all these beautiful tables and beautiful service. Jonathan Club does have beautiful service, beautiful things. And he's giving this very motivational speech, and it is really uplifting. Like, it was a great speech. Do I remember what it was about? No, it was uplifting. I think it's tough. That's why I think a lot of people do tell stories, because the story helps you remember. So I'm telling you a story right now about how I got into team building because I want you to remember that I do really care about team building. I probably am leaning more into caring about personal growth, but I care about both very much. So he calls for all these people to come out to cheer. And what the activity is for all the people after they've had dinner is They each get this cool big block of wood, and they write their biggest fear on it, okay? And then they stood in 3 lines, and each line was in front of a fire pit, okay? And they had professional 3 gentlemen there for the firing, for not fire, for the fire. And then they made them jump in the water after. No, no. Nobody was fired. Oh, now you're working again. AI camera. Thank you. Okay. We're just having fun here. So, okay. So, back to my story. We've got 3 lines. They're in front of 3 fire pits. Each professional person dealing with the fire is standing at the fire pit. I want to say the players, because that's what we say, my other team building thing. And so each employee from Tokori, I feel like it was the sales team, because sales teams, I don't want to say they work the hardest. A little bit. All teams are wonderful and I love them, but sales, I've learned over the years, is a really, really, really tough, intense department. And those people work really hard, and it's kind of impossible to have a company without a solid sales department. Ask that Alex Hermosi guy. He'll tell you all about it. And so, am I saying the name right? Anyways, so the guys at the fire pit, they take your wooden board with your biggest fear on it from whatever employee player comes up next. They put a line of gasoline, or no, not gasoline. That's dramatic. Lighter fluid. You know, the light, you know what I'm talking about, lighter fluid. And they put it down the wood board, and then they make the player go, hoo, ha! And they have to faux karate chop. Now the AI is working. Hilarious. Hoo, ha. Anyways, and they do that till they break the board, and it was tough for a lot of people, because they'd have to sort of do that hoo, ha moment to get the palm of their hand to break it. And I think all the boards were actually pre-sawed a little bit in the back to make it because I think it's probably hard naturally to just break a board. Anyways, I think they were pre-cut. And so eventually they started doing it, and every time they would actually bust through the board, which was representing their biggest fear, and then they would put the board in the fire, we would all clap and scream and yell. And it was just such a magical moment. If you really close your eyes and think about it, we're on the gorgeous beaches of Southern California, where, have these 3 illuminated fire pits that are just burning in the night sky, because now it's about 8 p.m. in the evening and the sun has fallen. And so it is really magical. It's a really beautiful experience. And I just remember thinking, what a wonderful experience this is, from this man's words and our energy. And, they had this beautiful dinner, and then they tried to bust through their biggest fear, and it was symbolic, and I understand that. And again, that's why I'm really a big fan of personal growth, because we all need tools and tricks and maybe a little help when we're going through stuff, or we're figuring stuff out, or we're even trying to motivate people. So it's on both sides, personal growth and team building are so valuable, because whether you're in a good place and you want to get to a better place, or you're in a bad place and you want to get to a good place, valuable knowledge and skills and tools can set you up for success. And that's really how I'm looking at this channel. I want to have fun, I want to be silly, I want you to get to know me, but I also want to set you up for success. If I had a magic wand and I could do anything, besides maybe fit into my old clothes, which we're on a journey for, it would be to make it so that everybody believed in themselves. And that's not easy, because I know I work every day on believing in myself, and I really believe in team building and personal growth. And life just sometimes throws you some zingers and some curveballs, and you have to figure it out and work through it. And it's so much easier to do that when you have the tools. You have the ideas, the concepts, the things you should be working on. And it's a lot of information, so I'm baby steps, it's baby steps to success is what I always say, because it's about consistency over quantity. I like that concept. I always want to jam pack a bunch of things into one situation, and it's consistency is really the right answer. Doing something every day a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all about batch capturing, because I've watched a lot of videos on starting a YouTube channel before I did this, and I feel like this is my second try. If you can dig through archives, I think 3 or 4 years ago, I was trying to do cooking. I'm not a cook. What I am is somebody who always likes to figure out like a hack or a better way to do what I'm trying to do. And I think we all are fans of that, right? If we can figure it out. So I had a wonderful experience. And let me wrap up this video because it's getting long. And you'll get to know me after more videos, even better. And so after that experience, I felt really moved by it. And I speak my mind. So I went up to the guy after the event and was like, can you take me with you? Do you go to other events? Do you ever hire people? Like, I would travel with you. Like, this is great. I love this feeling. I love this energy. I love doing this for people. And he was like, no. And again, it's like 12 years ago. He was like, no, I just hire locally. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I understand if you ever come back around. And I was kind of bummed, but I'm not somebody who gives up easily. And so I went home, and gosh, it's so funny how technology's changed in the last 12 years, because when I think about it, I'm like, what did I do? But I went home and I Googled all the team building companies in Los Angeles, like anyone I could find. And I sent them all my resume, which it really didn't have anything to do with team building, I don't even know what you would have on your resume that would have to do with team building, because I wasn't even familiar with it before that moment. And 6 months later, yeah, that's right, 6 months. 6 months later, one of my best friends now, Miles, and I got back to me, and he brought me on, and I started doing Wise Guys events, and I've been doing that for over a decade now, and it's been a great experience. And I went from like helping to being in charge of the events to then producing the events, and all the way to like, walking the client through the entire experience, the whole way from the sale to the event itself. And it's been such a beautiful experience, and I love it so much. And I've learned a lot over the last decade working team building events and running team building events and producing team building events. And I do love it. A common thread that I do find, which is maybe another reason I wanted to start this channel, is a lot of times I go into companies of all different shapes and sizes, and people are very nervous about whatever it is I'm going to do with them, whether it's play a game, have a workshop, exercises. And I find that so interesting, because I think that is a common thread for all of us as human beings. We have this fear of trying new things. And I'm not telling you to go bungee jumping or skydiving. I will not be doing those things. But I don't mean like that. I mean like, I don't know, trying a new food, trying a new sport, trying a new, place in the world, trying new anything. I think there's so many amazing, beautiful things in this world, and we need to embrace that. And it's so easy to get wrapped up in the stress of the day, like my bills are due, or the kids need something, or I'm not skinny enough, or I'm not ready enough, or I'm not whatever. I mean, like, I was totally tripping out just to make these videos. Like, I should have my hair done, I should have makeup, I should have, And the reality is the most valuable thing in this world, and I'm sure I will say this multiple times, is the relationship you have with yourself. Because the people that have the best relationships with themselves, they are very open and flexible, and they are like, oh, okay, there's this new person coming in, and she's going to talk to us about something I've never heard of before. So it gives me the opportunity to learn something new. Yes, you should always go with your gut. Always trust your instincts. I'm aware not everybody out there has the best intentions for everyone. I definitely thought when I was young that everybody had the best intentions for me, and I learned that the hard way multiple times. So I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's easy to get in a comfort zone, and sometimes that is the bad thing, is the comfort zone, because we can't stretch outside of ourselves. And so, anyways, I love personal growth. I love team building. I'm Awesome Ashby. I also really love food. So we're going to do a lot of that too, because if there's not eating, there's not team building. And I really hope you stick around, and I can't wait to see you next time. All right. Take care. And remember, you're number one. Love you. Bye.